Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are returning to Master of Command. We've just picked up a couple of cavalry regiments and we are starting to see quite a number of units here. I'm not too sure how sustainable that is going to be because we're going to lose nearly 50 reservists per day. So our desertion rate is pretty catastrophic. There's not much that we can do about it, but let's try to capture our objectives and see whether we can at least keep the growth going while we are trying to get ahead of the curve here. So let's see, there is a bit of a problem here. The item cost is going to be a little bit higher. That's alright. Don't think we've got the money to really buy anything or anything like that. So let's just continue to recruit a couple of people and be on our way. I'm hoping that we're going to find a couple of more nice encounters here. Yeah, that herd is not going to be too bad. I think that's going to give us some supplies. We're fine on that, actually. Get some provisions, get some pelts, or anything else. I think the pelts are going to translate into money, and I do like money. So that's lovely. And we do have enough stuff for the moment. And let's pause here for a second. There's an outpost here, and we do need to capture 3 forts. So that would be these 3. We've been here? Have we actually started over here? I think we have started in Poznan. So maybe hook around like that? Yeah, I think that's going to be the way to go over here. Again, it would be lovely to capture some enemy enemies. Enemy enemies, yeah, sure. Right. A raid is expected on this outpost soon. The men are alert and capable, but their powder chests are nearly empty. Do we provide them with ammunition for a moderate chance, or do we provide them with more ammunition for a likely chance? They've pledged to share the captured stores with us. Let's give them a lot of ammo. Oh! Riders struck under fog. Disaster. So even though we provided a lot, we didn't get too much return there. That's unfortunate. Let's try to capture the fort then. Our reserve is just 45 men every single day. That is catastrophic, really. Right. Enemy appears to have left this fort unguarded, either by oversight or due to the swiftness of our advance. Do we capture weapons? Yes. Do we garrison the fort? We don't have the reserves to do that, so let's just take the weapons. We've got the Tula base and some Potsdam muskets. Do we want to equip that on our guys? By the way, I've provided this. I show that to you. It's not much. Charleville, I don't think. Yeah, the Potsdams are sort of worse in every way except for fire rate, which is pretty nice. The Tulas don't really have range, but they are firing fast. I don't think that's something that we want to take over what we've got on these guys, at least. You guys actually have the musket, these things. That would use just straight up worse. Got that. You guys, on the other hand, have the young things. Yeah, I think you guys. Which one do I want to give them? The one with the better fire rate. Okay. That's fine. Not too good a haul. That. Got to get into the encampment. Then I think we need to get to the town. Oh, these guys are trying to catch us. Then officers. All officers gain a lot. We are passing 2 days. We don't have the ammo for that. We do have the money for this. I like officer experience gain, even though our officer experience gain is actually higher. But still, let's do this. Did that do anything for us? Yes, it did. Okay, so let's see on our cavalry officer whether we can make you a better cavalry officer. I do like the specialization. Move speed at the cost of stamina. Veterancy gain at the cost of morale. I'm not sure either. And the ammo consumption and reload speed is entirely wasted because we're going to have at most 1 Dragoon unit. Veterancy gain, I kind of like it. The move speed, the move speed is nice for cavalry. The stamina reduction I don't like. And its percentage. But yeah, you know what? Let's do the move speed. It's going to be useful. We want to build to our infantry officer. So let's see. Move speed. cost of officer, death chance. Move speed is nice. Morale damage, but at the lower move speed. I don't like that. I think keen is interesting. Accuracy and range. That's just straight on better for all of us. But on the other hand, the movement speed, I like that a lot too. Because it just allows us to get into position better. The accuracy, 5%. We've got good accuracy on a lot of our units. Especially with the Jaegers. On the other hand, I think this is, you know what, let's do this. I think it's going to open up more tactical success for us, so that's lovely. And the next thing that we're going to do is, of course, engage with these guys, and we might need to take the prisoners and press them into service just to replenish our reserves here. Right, so we've got Russians. They have got musketeers. That's not good. They've got serf recruits. They've got... Oh, it's a mixed enemy with Grenzer and more of that and artillery. Let's see whether they're going to attack or whether we need to attack. I don't know that. By the way, that's a huge improvement in the AI. Previously, the AI was charging you at any rate all the time. Now we can actually see them sort of being so-so, and that would be. It's nice to see that they are sometimes holding back and waiting for us to come to them, because it just, you know, changes up the game. It's a better AI. Right. Battlefield is interesting. We've got a hill, we've got a city. Sort of mixed terrain between that. I don't know whether they're gonna charge or we need to charge. They've got the field artillery, that's 6 artillery pieces. I think they're probably gonna guess that they have the artillery advantage over our 4 pieces. So it's probable that we need to attack. Their line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide with 2 cavalry units to back that up. We've got certainly 5 units too. Thing is, ours can probably be a bit more concentrated with the Jaegers. Right? We can put the Jaegers in front, sort of as we're doing right now. By the way, we might switch the Jaegers to this eye at some point. And then our excellent cavalry. Okay, let's put the 1 Hussars on the 1 flank. And the Prussian Hussars, non-Freikorps ones over there, and then you guys can keep up with that too. You on the other hand get over here. We've got a good flanking bonus. Not too sure what to make of that, but I think the rest is fine. Do we want to move the recruits sort of more to the center? Recruits to the center, musketeers to the right, and that should... Right, let's move you up. We're gonna find our positions here, I guess. Oh! Really overlook these guys. And stay here. You can get over here, I guess. Right. Sort of everyone doing their thing. Right, you run and get on the hill. You get in the middle there. You're gonna be a little bit not in that great cover, but still down there. You guys get over here there, run. Didn't let these guys run. They are a little bit to be too easily exhausted. Right. Fruits. I want artillery. Because you can please unlumber. No, lumber. Come on. And start firing on some of these. I guess on the observation recruit musketeers. These guys do have decent accuracy, range and stuff. Oh. The artillery is coming in. Not sure what they hit, if anything at all. Our artillery is them though, so that's good. Okay, seems like they are building a line rather than charging, as we would sort of expect. So yeah, they think they've got the artillery advantage, which probably is true. That does mean we need to forward. You guys need to be a bit lower there. You know what? I think we can do a quick little charge in here. These guys are not braced at all for now, although they might be in a moment. If we could just break one of their units quickly, wouldn't that be lovely? Okay, they are starting to brace. They are firing off a couple of volleys. And this is not normally what I do. And I maybe shouldn't have. Looks like we're losing a lot more men than they do. And the cuirassiers are joining in, but they're not necessarily doing that much better. I just would have liked to break them. Their cavalry is coming in. Okay, I don't think that we are beating them. Efficiently. Okay, let's move out. That was foolish, but it's what we did. Right. Get in a line formation, please. Get in line formation, please. Jaegers, please start fire. You know what? That's fine. Okay, it was not too disastrous, but still not great either. You guys are firing off against them. Pull it back a little bit. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! 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 Indeed, their cavalry is coming in, and it did catch me in the back as I was withdrawing. Let's hope that our hussars are doing a nice countercharge. Yeah, they're actually retreating. That is not that great though, because now our hussars are sort of following them, and I would like to. That's better. Right. Drove them off. Not that great for now. I think I need to send my general over here. Oh. These guys are starting to come under fire there. That I dislike. You'll be engaging there. You're engaging there. Musketeers are engaging there. I think the serf recruits are not going to live for long. You guys are in good cover and are fighting them. That's okay. They are retreating. You can now start a fire on them. That's okay. Right. Okay, good fight along the line over there. I missed that charge. That's unfortunate because I would have loved to counter-charge them, but we are stronger than them anyway. So let's beat them properly off there. I need to keep an eye on that though, so that that doesn't develop into something really bad. Our position generally is better because we are now in good cover. They aren't. You guys are recharging here a little bit and recovering your morale, which is lovely. You guys can potentially fire on the right here, because I think everyone is breaking. Anyone else is breaking anyway. I really love that these guys up there are sort of chasing our hussars, because that means they might be out of the battle for the moment. These hussars, yeah, they just need to recover. They're standing a little bit. Right, you guys stop firing, because you'll need to fire at the cavalry that is incoming now. They're gonna try to charge you. That's not nice. Okay, let's shoot at these guys. Come on, shoot, shoot, shoot. Yes. That's nice. They're gonna retreat anyway. Good. These guys are sort of yo-yoing. Okay, you try to keep them running. I would love to charge a few of these guys here and rack up some stuff. Okay, you are almost recovered. Let's move you up. These hussars will need to do their thing. You're coming back. That's nice. Freikorps musketeers. It would be lovely to actually get over here. I would love to capture some of these guys, but I don't think that I can. Right. The recruits I'm going to charge into here once these guys are breaking again. which should be fairly soon. I think probably just one volley. Jägers. Okay. Viking. You need to double time it. Keep an eye on the Freikorps Hussars. They're chased by these observation recruits. Double time it down there. Okay, nice hit over here. And you fire and charge. Freikorps Jäger, you try to get the artillery. Freikorps Musketeers, get over here. Get in the woodlands. Of these guys, these hussars here can... Oh! No. Okay, that was us. I was thinking there for a second. Right. Move up our artillery. Don't think it's going to come into play, really. That's alright. Okay, these cuirassiers. Let's take these hussars. Go for the field artillery. Freikorps Jägers. Move up. You guys are charging. I can charge with you since you are pretty close anyway. Okay, let's try to charge them down. I don't think we're going to be able to do much there. That's alright. As long as we can keep racking up some experience, I think that's going to be a win for us. Yeah, but everyone is pretty exhausted. Right, the Hussars, I want you to charge these guys. The Cuirassiers are super exhausted, I want you to charge these guys. You guys are dealing with the artillery for now. You take some prisoners there. Musketeers, fine. Jägers, charge. Yeah, that should be really, really lovely here. Come on, charge. It's actually funny to see the Jägers charging. Musketeers, charging. It's also a bit amazing that the guys who are retreating aren't faster than our guys. Yeah, shattered. Lovely. Yes. Yes, I really love to see that. Right. Okay, everyone is doing their thing over there. Okay, artillery, you know, try to capture them. And victory. Yeah, the one unit broke without us touching it at all, so that's good. I know it's a bit. I'm not sure it's cheesy, but you really need to take every advantage that you can. We are playing on a higher difficulty here, so that is good. Right, 400. I do think we need the men. So, ooh, interesting. 6-pounder gun, haversack, more horses. That's nice. Morale and melee damage. Yeah, we're gonna look at that in a second. But I do think we're gonna take a lot of men here to replenish our losses and keep our desertion at bay. Right, a couple of promotions there, some of which we are going to use, so that's lovely to see. Right, let's do that. And all of our officers are being promoted. That's nice too. Right, nothing here on the cavalry side, which I think is because you're all pretty much out-promoted anyway. But the Freikorps Musketeers, you guys can become the Freikorps Jägers. Means your regiment size is going to go down a lot. And actually your melee stuff is also going to drop down. How much accuracy are you gaining? 5. And 15 reload speed. Yes, I guess a bit. I like these guys. They're interesting. They're very interesting. We'll need to change you up a little bit so that we can keep you apart. But that's alright. What gun do you have? Land pattern 120. 120. Looking at the ranges here. No, the ranges all seem to be very... This is stuff that we're going to sell. You guys have promotions, but I think you're not enough, no. We might get you to be brigadiers later on, but we'll see. I'm gonna remove that here for a second, and then we can promote it to field artillery. I think just gives you at least two extra people, so we are gonna do that. Then we need to think about which gun we're gonna. So the howitzer has that first, and then compare this way. So the howitzer has more damage, it's shooting faster, but it doesn't have the range. So I think I prefer the range in the hope of getting the enemy to attack me rather than me going out to attack. I think that's the useful thing. Let's stop this up a little bit over here so that we've got a little bit better overview here. We've got more horses. What kind of horses are you? Morale and movement speed? Yeah, that should work for that. By the way, they will have white horses on the map too. I kind of really like that. Right, you've got the charging horse, right? Stamina and move. That's alright. And then we've got morale and melee damage treaty, which we could use on infantry or horses. Now that would be, of course, a nice thing to be using on you. Morale and melee damage. Do we need this? I like it because you're replenishing forces so slowly. It would be nice to have something there. We could also... You guys, your job is actually to take damage, right? That doesn't need to be the case. It would potentially make a little bit more sense with grenadiers, right? Got more morale. Don't have the accuracy, they've got better reload. Charging, so we could have them sort of stand and potentially charge in every now and then. And I would like some grenadiers. Question is, these guys, if we take the Prussian grenadiers, they've got a charge of, they've got 200 more men, 45-30. Whereas these guys, the Freikorps ones, 45-35. But fewer men. 35 movement speed versus 30 movement. So I think it's actually viable to do a Freikorps Musketeer, a Freikorps Grenadier. They're not that great, but I think in terms of line infantry they might be a little bit better. So are we going to promote you to Grenadiers? I need to think about that for a moment. We're out of ammo? Yes, we are out of ammo. Cavalry, you don't need to carry ammo. Artillery very much needs to carry ammo. Morale and melee damage. Use that on the cavalry. I think on the cavalry is fine, right? Potentially don't need that. Let's do it like this. That's fine. You know, we're well set up. I like that. The howitzer we're gonna keep. The different muskets we're probably gonna keep. Yeah, I think that makes sense. More artillery things for you? No, nothing that we need to right now. Melee damage received, casualties restored. You have the casualty restored thing anyway. You've sort of missed things that are not that great. None of these things is super useful. I do like the accuracy on our snipers. On the other hand, they're not really that good at sniping anyway. The Prussian Musketeers got the veterancy gain, which is useful. The movement speed is probably not that useful. Do like that. Remove that. Morale and stamina. Stamina. Or just the move speed anyway. I think I like the morale and stamina. Get you moving a little bit faster. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually very nice. That sort of... I like that. This is really the aspect of the game that I kind of enjoy the most, actually, which is kind of funny, but still. Right, I could potentially buy a couple more of these things, but we don't have that much money, so I'm not particularly keen on that. So I think we're gonna leave the slots as is for now, and at least until we get to a town, replenish our stocks a little bit. So let's see. Right, officers. We've got the officer, the cavalry charge, we've got the higher movement speed at the cost of stamina. What else? Do give me something good. Veterancy gain at the cost of morale. Reload speed, that's really bad for us on the cavalry officer. The morale, a confident. I like it for role-playing reasons. I don't think we need it though. We're going to skip that one. On the infantry, we've got the accuracy and the movement speed. What else can we get? Reload speed and movement speed, that's very lovely. Morale damage received, fire damage received. Flanking fire damage at the cost of melee damage. Kind of like it. But I do like the reload speed more. I think reload speed on a Prussian infantry officer is great, and more movement speed. Yes, we're going to do that. And then lastly, on you, you're a bit all over the place. Stamina, cover efficiency, ammo consumption, combat effectiveness. Accuracy wouldn't be too bad, especially on sort of... I think I like it. I think I like it. You're sort of our artillery officer. And some other things. So yeah, I think that's a good setup over here. Do let me know whether you think I'm spending too much time here, but I do really like this aspect here of building our force. So that is really, really nice. And do let me know, do you think we should build these guys into grenadiers? I think it might be more fun to have 2 groups of Jägers, 1 group of grenadiers, and these guys are moving up to be all musketeers. I think we just have 2. I could get you into the Landmiliz path. This is a kind of funny path. I like it. If you are aiming for Prussian veteran grenadiers or Prussian grenadiers even, I think it's a bit better to go Landmiliz and then Prussian fusiliers rather than musketeers. Reason for that being that these guys are already better at melee. You get this a lot earlier than this, and I think they're just more or less straight out better in terms of charging and sort of thing. So these are sort of on par, I would say, but you get them earlier. And by the time you would have gotten the 4 points to get musketeers, you can actually have fusiliers, which have much better charge, and that builds up into grenadiers better, I think. But we're not going to do that. We're going to use them as line infantry, and that does indeed, I think, mean... I think grenadiers are going to be fun. Means the regiment size is going to drop. That's not too bad. It frees up some men. Reload speed is going to go up by, what, 5? At the cost of accuracy. Accuracy loss is not great. But you're going to be much better at charging, melee, and morale. And that means we can just sort of keep you as our linchpin of our defenses. And they're going to be a bit more recognizable too. The reload speed, I love that. The movement speed, I love that. The accuracy, yeah. I think Punch Metau, I think, is a very good infantry officer at the moment. It does depend on what else he's going to get, though. Yeah, that being said, I think for now, thank you very much for watching. Let's see what we can do with these 2 forts down here and this city. For now, we are looking kind of okay. Halfway through. They're going to attack us at 75 days, 74 days. I think we're going to be alright. So, for now, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.